back, socialites. I am back here for a post-regular season tier list. I am here with Alex from the Lavender Town Gengars, and I am here with Ryan from the Boston Braviaries. Start off with you, Ryan. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, doing good, Kevin. Always good to be back. Back on another podcast, reviewing some teams. Just like old times.
Just like old times. All right, Alex, what about you? How are you doing today?
Suffering like the
Don't
rest
get
of us.
him started. This little bitch got his panties in a bunch. Coming right in here.
I haven't even said hello.
Damn right,
Can
I ain't
we-
gonna let you say hello.
Can we just move on? Let's just keep going.
Let's just keep going. All right, so we got the post regular season standings.
I just want to, but before we get started, though, I do want to say one thing. It's very gracious of Kevin to let the last 5 champions all on this podcast together. Let's give it up for all the previous 5 champions on this podcast here.
Woo.
Wow. Really a winner's circle, I guess. I don't often compliment people, but that's as close as we're going to get.
Well, the ideal situation here is that I will be added to that when I continue my undefeated streak straight to a championship. So, because then I can.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because then I'll be with the cool kids, okay?
Yeah, you don't have a trophy next to your name, so automatically Ryan and I get like a little bit more to judge you.
Listen, I'm just saying, if I win, Snow wins back-to-back seasons, so I'm just saying.
Yeah. Way to carry my torch, Dad.
All right, well, before we get into the teams, did we want to talk about the standings, the final top 8, top 10 kill leaders, or do we just want to go straight into the teams and start either congratulating or shitting on people?
Yeah, I care so much more about that. Let's just look at the top 8 teams. They're obviously like the top 8 players, so let's just talk about them. Everybody had a great season. Lucky you guys. All right, let's get into it.
Hey, I'm just glad to see a couple champs in there. You know, Alex right here, former champ, and Tokyo up there as well. So, couple people vying for a second trophy. Always good to see that. And Buffalo sneaking in. Who'da thunk? Who would ever think Buffalo would be in the playoffs? Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go.
I mean, he's got Magirna and Necrozma. Like, I just
But I looked at their stats. All right.
kind of just think that like some of those
Just 'cause
things
you
just
got the
literally
bazooka doesn't
carry
mean you know
there,
where to aim
okay?
it.
Like kicking and screaming, they just take the team here, and that's fine. I mean, that's just what you can draft, I guess.
Listen. It's still a moment. Let him have his moment.
I'm not taking it from him. That's not what I'm doing, like, at all. I'm just telling you, like, you know, even if it were me, I'd be telling you I'd be backpacked by my own team. It's fine.
I'm just saying that Buffalo did exceptionally well, especially in the later weeks of the season, and
no, he's doing really well. Like, I'm not trying to take that from him. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to come across that way.
I'm just saying, like, it takes a lot, especially considering that he's kind of got the lowest differential. Like, that speaks a lot to how well he did the last few weeks to squeak in there with the lowest differential.
I've been a Badoofs fan since I joined the league, okay? Like, I screamed for him when he rejoined, and I didn't even know him. We hadn't even had a conversation before. But I'm happy they're here. I like when fun people get there.
Kevin, looking on the right side, is that the first 50 KO Pokemon we've ever had, or?
I'm pretty sure it is. I would like to talk about that. I mean, I've only been here since season 7, so I can't speak for the rest of the seasons that preceded it, but I'm pretty sure that 51...
I just remember like 30 was rare sometimes, so 50 I'm sure has never happened.
I feel like I'm like historically like the longest in the league who's just never had a top 10 Pokemon for long enough into a playoff season. Like, I consistently make the playoff, but none of my Pokemon ever make the top 10 because I trade so fucking frequently. Oh god, I can't swear, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I don't care if you swear. I'm not
Oh,
monetized anyway. So, but I was gonna say you did have a Pokemon that was number one, but you traded it, and it was a season that I joined.
Oh yeah, the good old when he added Scizor.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
when he had Garchomp
Yeah,
as number
lost.
one, then gave it away for Scizor. Like that's on you, buddy. That's on you.
Hey man, I own my mistakes. Like it happens. Like I didn't win that season. Although, like Ryan, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in the league who's just like gotten a game on you in like years. For the record, like it wasn't a playoff game that mattered, but I think I'm the only one that has in quite a long time. So it's fine. If we're talking about historic feats, anyways, I guess.
Well, since we brought up Satitan um, and the historic 51 KOs, let's talk about the other top 10. We got Goldango, Raging Bolt, Mimikyu, Ogerpon, Cornerstone, Umbreon. Surprisingly enough, got 25 KOs. I don't know how the fuck, but it's there.
Foul play.
26.
Foul play, toxic. It does work. Galarian Slowking, Zamazenta, Great Tusk, and Regieleki. So Seattle got quite a few in top 10. So does Tokyo with Goldango and Mimikyu. Um, Ogerpon snuck in there, and then Barrow, who did not make the playoffs, but does have Zamazenta in the top 10 as well. So
Yeah, I mean the Umbreon's interesting, but all the rest, I could see a world where they all do well.
I stand by the fact that my walking wake should have made it had I played the whole season.
Seems
well,
like though Tokyo just ate up on Ghost Week guys with Mimikyu and Goldango, or maybe Goldango was able to wear stuff down enough and get big hits, and Mimikyu just clean them up.
I mean, it is a Goldango,
she was
like
heavy on Nasty Plot and Sword Dance, so
Yep.
those definitely put in work.
yeah, it's a lot of fucking setups.
All right.
Spooky, but they're ghosts, so that makes sense.
All right. Well, without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get on with the team tier list here. Start with Buffalo. So he did not make a whole lot of changes. If we pull up the previous tier list, we actually rated Buffalo an A tier. A tier team just under Tokyo, I believe. Um, So he traded his Vaporeon for Blastoise, and he traded me Wigglytuff for Dusclops. So how are we feeling about those few changes? Do we think it helped or do we think it hindered?
I think dropping Vaporeon for Blastoise is probably a downgrade overall because he already has so much setup offense. You don't really need like shell smash. I'd rather have the bulky wish passer and all that. But overall, I mean, I'd still probably put it in like a low A, like high B, somewhere in that range anyway. So I don't think it like destroyed his team, the changes, He's still got Dragapult, Magearna, Lucario, Necrozma, Sableye annoying as hell, Ditto. Just if you bring something that can beat Dragapult and Magearna, and then the Ditto comes in and can reverse you on that, then it's all the same.
That Ditto has actually put in a lot of work with him for 27 KO, so that's clearly a strategy that he has implemented quite a bit. Um, And I also was going to point out the Magearna. He did not bring the Demon Magearna set all season, but then randomly decided he was going to bring it when the top 8 was on the line. So good for him. But yeah, Demon Magearna finally made an appearance. So what do you think, Alex? Do you concur this is an A tier team?
I mean, yeah, just in Pokemon alone, I would really like to see him use the Hitmontop a little bit more because I feel like it would just like make some of his like other games a little bit better. And also, like, you know, I'm just happy that he learned what unaware was. Sorry, so funny. I love you, Bidoof. It's just so great. But like,
He's now aware.
he is aware. We're good. I mean, like, no, this is like an A tier team. I mean, like, Dragapult's so good, and the Magirno alone is like almost unstoppable. Like with some of the teams that were in the league, like it's just like you have no checks to this, and it'll just rampage. The prankster Sableye has always been annoying. I feel like he takes that every season he's in, and it's like consistently just like an annoying Pokemon. But I really agree with what Boston says. Like, I think the Vaporeon would have been like way better. He doesn't really have like a lot of defensive Pokemon, but like his offensive threats are so strong. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. A tier.
Okay. All right. Well, the next one we got is newcomer, the Dewford Town Decidueyes.
I'm on it.
Okay. So he took over for El Paso. Um, we don't need to go into that all too much, but he did take over for a different team. And on the last possible week of transactions, just completely just overhauled the entire team. So he traded Tianpao for Palafin, Iron Moth for Pelipper, Skarmory for the male Basculesian, which he never brought. Uh, he swapped Swampert for Gastrodon, Porygon 2 for Kilowattrel, Hitmonchan for Noivern, Spiritomb for the Alolan Dugtrio, and Haunter for Zangoose. So a lot of things to kind of go over. It's basically a whole new team, barring like the Rotom and the Slowbro.
Wait, is he not in top 8?
No, he's not.
Oh, I thought we were only doing top 8 teams.
No, we're gonna go over all of them because we were supposed to do this after week 8, but it just didn't work out.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So we're good.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely a really strong rain team. Surprising that it, didn't get there, but like you said, he had to take over for some stuff and all that, make a bunch of changes late. So, but yeah, huge rain team. So I mean,
I feel like
probably in
how they
another
made
A
this.
team, kind of. I mean, a lot of like the same weaknesses, so maybe it's more of a B team, but
Well, I think we had El Paso in C tier last time, um, so this um
just like everything's gonna hit hard, and then he has a Slowbro and Gastro for like defense. Is just okay, just couple grass types will ruin your day, but you hit with hurricanes from Noivern and Kilowattrel, and you're good there. So
The Pelipper also like a low key offensive threat. I feel like if they had made these changes, like the minute they got in, this would have been a threat, and they would have been in the top 8 with us. But like this is really good. This is easily like at least B tier. Like I would think like above like the C tier where you guys had El Paso originally.
the only thing I was gonna point out is I don't. I mean, no. Does Noivern get defog?
Uh, no, it does
pretty
not.
sure it does. It doesn't? You sure?
I don't think so.
I
I
know.
can I can check.
I thought we looked that up at one point because I think like you had it, Kevin, like a few seasons ago, and like we were looking for that, and I don't think it did. But maybe that's an older game, and maybe I'm wrong.
No, it does. It's a breeding move.
Okay.
Ah,
Noivern.
All right. So the only thing I was gonna say was 3 flying types, kind of weak to rocks, without any way to remove them. But I mean, if the Noivern gets it, because I know Pelipper doesn't get it for some stupid.
No, yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, that's what it was.
So I mean,
It used to, I feel like.
Yeah, when it was a TM.
so are we content with a B tier ranking then? And then if
Mhm.
we
Yeah,
need
I'd say B.
okay, if we need to make adjustments later, we can. All right, then we got a Cole in the Driftvale City Dragapults. Uh, the only changes that he made was in week 3, he got rid of Comfey when he realized it couldn't terrestrialize and put in Pecharunt. And then he dropped Wheezing. Oh, excuse me, those are backwards. I need to fix that. He dropped. No, wait, no, I have that.
Yeah, it's right.
I have that right. Yeah,
You
okay.
drop Wheezing from a Bostiff and Electrode for Basculin.
That's the one I need to swap. Because
Yeah,
Electrode's still there.
he added Electrode.
Okay, so yeah, he added the Boston and
But he
Electrode.
brought it to a lot of games, damn.
Yep. So not too many changes, but I will say that the Petrunt did provide him a little bit more.
So bulky.
Yeah, a little bit more bulk on the physical side. He had a little bit
What,
of special.
what we have him before?
We had him as A tier, I believe.
A.
I believe so. I'd have to double check the image that I sent to the chat, but I don't know if me. I don't know if it would force me to leave if I go into them. I don't think it would. I don't think it would. If it does, then we'll figure it out. Yeah. Oh no, we actually had Cole at C tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say this off the bat to me doesn't look like a team.
Yeah, okay.
Just from like, so I was surprised if we put him up that high. But obviously he's done well with it, second place overall. Petra probably gave him some like really good bulk that he needed. Um, the Electrode seems to be doing work with that speed anyway, probably giving him some switching opportunities. Hasn't gone a lot. Done with the Garchomp, unfortunately. Even Iron Treads is kind of like a 50-50 mon. I had really good success using that. That was like a bulldozer for me.
I will say that the Electrode, specifically, he has used it bulkier, but he's also used it for like Aftermath to pick off like weak physical attackers.
Yeah.
So Aftermath's done well for him. I haven't seen him use Static as much, which I guess could have similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, probably Aftermath just better. You're just trying to get off a big hit and then die and finish it off or whatever.
Yeah.
And it can terrestrialize too, so you can do like Terra Ice or something.
Yep. And he's
Or Terra Grass. Might even be a little better in certain matchups.
and he's actually brought the Volbeat way more often than I thought he would. I thought he would just bring it against me just because Prankster Weather Disruption.
Yeah, Prankster Weather, Thunderwave, Encore. I mean, it can definitely be annoying. You can Encore like a setup guy, then you turn out into whatever can KO it. So, breaking like any sashes on a setup Pokemon and bringing something in. Alex, what would you say about this team?
Well, I don't know, man. It fucking beat me. So, I mean, the way that he played it, I just like was not at all prepared for. I think like I think the Petrarant was like a good ad. Like, what did he pitch for that? Like,
The Comfey?
yeah, like that's a way
Really, you
better
can
pickup.
say like the Wheezing though, because it kind of is just a better Wheezing.
Yeah, I mean, like that makes sense to me. Like, not it's like his trades are good. Like, I feel like it's like not really like a C tier team. Like, just because like the stats on his Garchomp are so different because he was initially running it like only as a stealth rock setter for like the majority of the season.
Yeah, just like
But
a
in
lead.
my game, he was completely offensive, and then like I got flinch hacked like 3 times in that game because of it.
Crazy running Garchomp as your rocker when you have Iron Treads.
He didn't even have it against me. I feel like this team would be better if he was like utilizing that aspect of it more, because like there's nothing wrong with like lead chomp, but like he's got not a lot to follow it up. Like he's got like good Terras with Dragalge and Electrode, so like he's got a lot of special offense. And I honest to God, like I was really afraid of the Hawlucha because like it's flying, which is good into all of my grass like coverage, and like it was fighting, which is just like it would destroy the Gudra. So I was just afraid that he was going to bring that in conjunction with Iron Treads and Garchomp, and I would never like have the ability to get the Gudra safe. So I just didn't bring it, and he just like was prepped for the Gudra with all of his Terras, but like didn't bring that. So like I wanted to say that so he knows, like, just like, you know, like he's got to like look at like all of his team options, because I feel like it could comp better than like it might look like at first glance. I would put it in B tier at least.
Yeah, probably B.
I will say that the adding the Mabosstiff does kind of help him with, because I think one of the points that we made last time is that he was very psychic weak with the
Yeah.
psychic and ground weak, and the only real like outs to that he had were like Tornadus and Hawlucha, but Hawlucha was also weak to psychic, so at least with the Mabosstiff that kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah, dark type.
Mm.
I mean, you can always use your Terras too, like Dragalge can Terra to whatever it needs to beat that. You know, could just go Terra Dragon straight up.
So are we thinking above or below Dewford Town?
If they were to face each other, I would expect Dewford Town to win, so I'd probably say right below.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know how like the solid rain core, like, you can't tell because
Yeah.
they didn't play, but you know, like on paper, I would bet on the rain team too. Like, no offense to Cole.
Yeah. Maybe like Sinistcha would have to carry a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and it could, so, like, you know, it could go either way, but like that's just one Pokemon, you know, and like he has Terra options, but like, in the vacuum, I would just go with something that's like more consistent overall.
Yeah,
Like,
getting huge chunks. Yeah, I don't know. They're probably close, but I'll put Dewford above them.
If we need to make adjustments later, we can.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we could skip this next team, F tier.
100%. Please move on. Thank you.
Why'd
Next.
you add Walking Wake? You're doing all right with it, but man, I hate that Pokemon.
I get it though. Like, you know how many times it's had like incredibly good crits, but they just weren't enough. Like when I got
that was the thing with me when I used it. It was like
I'm choice
never
spec
did
into the
enough
Glow King,
damage,
and
and
it
I was
gets
like,
to
what the hell?
5% and then gets off the reception to lose game 3. Like, that was soul crushing for me, for the record. Like, also it did it against Cole, where it crit Hydro Steamed the Petrarant almost to death, and it didn't die. Like, I do love it so much, though. It is a Suicune T-Rex, and that like speaks to me, like to my inner child. I don't care. I love it so much. It's so like I did this for fun. I came in like taking over an 0-3 record. I can't believe I made it.
Well, in defense of Walking Wake too, like you're a Sun team, so there's not really a whole lot of good water types that really go well on a Sun team. Walking Wake.
Also, the other ones were all taken. I couldn't get any of the elephants. I couldn't get the. I really, really wanted Gouging Fire, but it's with Mid Valley, and that's fine. You know, like I'll manage, but like I still love the Walking Wake. It's very good.
But yeah, like we said, you took over, or like you mentioned, you took over for somebody else. So you made a lot of changes because similar to Dewford, you were just like, I want to completely just overhaul this team.
I also just like pigeonhole on trades, and it's like my favorite part of the draft. So I always make a lot. It's fine.
The first thing
you did like a bunch of shit.
I mean, you traded Goldango for Landorus, then you pitched the Landorus later. You got Walking Wake. You got your Suncore basically. Then you ended with this, which is Walking Wake, Clefable, Cleavor, Torkoal, Gudra, Hisuian, Scovillain, Thundurus, Galarian Weezing, Leafeon, and Ampharos. So right off the bat, and I've said this, I've talked to you about this a couple of times. I wish you had a better Rapid Spinner than Torkoal, but you have Defog on the Weezing, so I guess it's fine. But it can sort of hamper your ability to use Cleavor effectively, since you'll be removing the rocks that Cleavor sets as well. But I mean, outside of that, I mean.
Well, again, were you going to trade me Donphan? Because I didn't. Because Jules wouldn't trade me Great Tusk, and I had nothing at any point to offer Cole for the treads. So, I mean, these were my options. And I had Fortress for a hot minute, but it is a Fortress. And every time I take it, because it's an available spinner, I immediately discover why it is an available spinner. Because it's just awful. Anyways.
All right, well, Ryan, I'll let you start it off. Like, what do you see?
So, I mean, like, as like my like wall of trades devolves down, like I was trying to like pick up like inherent weaknesses
Wait.
to the Suncore.
I thought he was telling me to say something.
Oh, sorry.
I was in fact telling Ryan to say something.
I can't be
Well,
on these. I
look at
ramble
this.
off so
Look
often.
at this.
Go off, King.
I mean, I don't have much to say. Team's complete trash. I don't know how he backed his way into this, but he must have knocked over 3 old ladies on the way and hit a kitten or something. Because man, there's a lot of carnage here. You know, you got fucking Walking Wake, the fakest piece of shit in the world. Listen, I was undefeated with this guy, and then I went up against this man and got completely bricked against him, ripped the whole team apart. Said, fuck you, Walking Wake, and then I went on to a trophy. So, you know, you made a mistake keeping this boy on your team because he ain't a winner. I'll tell you
Your
straight up.
first mistake was using a
Walking
dinosaur against me.
Walking fake right here. All right? The
Never use a
Clefable,
dinosaur against
the
me.
Clefable is fucking like fat. It's like Luka Doncic, never gonna win a trophy, no conditioning.
I'm sorry, didn't you win a trophy with a Clefable?
That was in doubles. It had teammates to help it. Didn't need to do
How
anything
dare
else.
you insult Clefable?
It just had to
It's
sit there. It
incredible.
just had to
His
1v1 a
excellent abilities.
Cresselia with you know, it just had to 1v1 Cresselia. That was its only purpose.
Are you just like covering your
He did
ears
it.
and just like saying whatever comes to your mind? Are these critiques or just rambles? Go on. Let's go. It's too deep.
Cleavor, he doesn't even bring it.
I'm so
know?
angry at it. All it ever does is miss. It just misses Stone Axe.
Yeah.
Like it's its
Like,
entire job is to miss that move.
He brings that mon, he's only bringing 5 Pokemon because he's gonna miss turn 1 and then die.
Right,
away.
exactly. And like on
Torkoal,
paper, it's excellent
listen,
with
just
135 base
open up
attack.
the blinds, Alex. Alex, just let the sun into your room. You'll get more done than bringing that fucking ass turtle. All right, you'll get more sun from opening your goddamn blinds. It's almost
Leave
winter,
Susan
but we got
alone.
more sunlight coming here than that
He's a
fucking
good girl.
turtle. Okay, Hisuian Gudra, that's a good mon. You got one.
Gudra is so great. Oh my gosh, it's like the best.
Scovillain, 2-headed motherfucker.
Awful.
Can't even.
Hot garbage. Literally, it's Walking Away syndrome on steroids.
You couldn't get a better fire type. That's what you had to have.
That's what was left to me. That's all I had.
Thunderous. Okay, Prankster Thunderous, not bad. I would just like bulk it up and just be like spreading paralysis and pray that the Paragods are on my side because there's no other way this team is gonna fucking do anything.
100%.
Galarian Wheezing.
100% my strategy there.
Galarian Wheezing. I don't even fucking know. What the fuck you doing with this?
It's excellent. Okay, it just eats hits,
Yeah,
and apparently, like, just it does flinch quite often. Apparently, because that's my life. But like when it's not doing that, it's excellent. It cripples the physical attackers because like I have like a lot of like good defensive Pokemon, but like I was really looking for like more special defensive bulk.
I've seen that man on the fucking Monopoly board game. All right, he ain't doing shit with that thimble and that little race car.
Listen.
Okay. And then fucking Leafeon over here, the worst evolution, the worst one ever on the fucking team here. Leafeon, and then Ampharos. Oh, he got the Lighthouse Keeper. Listen, you got one good mon, and that's Hisuian Gudra. He's a champion. I took him there. All right. This team ain't gonna do it. He knows it. Hisuian Gudra, he ain't gonna play for you. You're gonna try to bring him. You're gonna try and like shelter up, Dragon Tail, do something. Nah, he's gonna just take a nap. He's gonna be like, nah, you ain't a real trainer.
I mean, he's like pretty much a house every time I bring him, and
Yeah,
like,
but now he knows. He's heard the voice of his former master, and he knows.
You're not even here.
This team is like a B, and it's like the low B. It's below. I mean, it's definitely below the raid team. It's probably below.
Are you kidding me? It's below the raid team. Go to hell. Like, Go to hell! It's below the rain team. I would smoke that rain team in a vacuum.
With what? With what? What are you guys smoking with?
Thunderous! I have Thunderous right there, and Leafeon, and Scobilin. Sorry.
Thunderous is just gonna get jet punched in the rain
Dad.
and take a nap.
I was not expecting this to escalate this quickly, but it makes for great content, I guess.
For the record, that wasn't me. He was already angry out of the gate. Why do you hate Walking Wake so much? Like, it's a
Walking
T-Rex.
Fake. Walking Fake. Yo, you better change its name. Walking Fake.
I will not do that. That's Razzle.
If the game would allow me to put it in, I'd tell you its real name. Fucking Fake.
I need you to, like, just take a pill or something.
All right, so
B tier. Low.
Low B tier? Okay.
I am at least the top of B, if not in A. Please put in a fucking word that makes sense. And, like, are you kidding me? That's like fake news.
And put it in the middle.
He's like screaming fake news. Like,
okay, moving on. All right, now we got Mid Valley.
Oh, that gouging fire.
So he made a few changes. He ranted and raved about wanting the fucking pile of swine. I don't know if he like begged Scotland on hand and knee to get it, but he got it and then never fucking brought it afterwards. And this was like week 4 or 5, and he hasn't brought it. So, like, good job, you got your pig, but you never brought it. And it makes me sad.
what's the matter with you? What?
See, here's
What did you like? Grab your lube bottle for the gouging fire and then just like get mad? Like, what's the matter? Like, did someone hurt you today?
The gouging fire was for you, Alex, because you said you wanted it.
Well, yeah, it's a fire dragon. It's excellent for sun.
So look. So we had this man at C tier or like bottom of C tier because we said that he had no way to really remove hazards. And that he was a lot of offense, not a whole lot of defense. And that was kind of like the main gist of why we had him at the bottom of C tier.
Yep.
The man won his division and is in top cut now. So, I mean, granted, his last few weeks were not great for him, but he still made it. So, you got to give the man his due for that, at least, is that he's a divisional champion, even though, I don't know why. I don't know why he did this, but
he picked up the Oricorio, which at least has defog, but it's all the same thing. He's got 1, 2, 3, 5 like Pokemon that are gonna get hit with rocks. 4 Pokemon that are gonna hit rocks. I mean, and like a bunch of them are like his key dudes. So.
Well, that and the Cryogonal gets Rapid Spin, even though he has not brought Rapid Spin Cryogonal once, as far as I know. It's always been like Scarf or Specs or something, but he's never brought Rapid Spin. But he does have
that's
access,
an interesting set.
But he does have Rapid Spin, and the Oricorio is a special attacker, which does, I guess, pair nicely with the Vikavolt to give him a little bit more offensive diversity.
Yeah, because everything else is
physical.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Mid Valley
and Oricorio is cool. It's got a lot of immunities. So,
I mean, they picked up the hazard removal, so like automatically that moves them out of C tier for me because like there were teams this season that had none of it.
Yeah.
So they get the bump up at least just for that alone. I mean, and Oricorio is definitely not a bad defogger. I mean, this team, it's got a lot of other ways to remove the screens, but yeah, like the glaring rock weakness is like my biggest issue with this team. And like
so many physical attackers too. Like,
I mean, the Vikavolt, I've seen them running like Vikavolt with like choice specs and stuff like that. Like that makes sense. Like like look at the stats, but I feel like in a draft year, like a lot of teams suffer from being pigeonholed into like lopsided offenses, like myself included. So like it's either like I feel like a lot of teams tilt one way or the other. So I don't know. I mean, like if it's not like the bottom of B tier, it's at least the top of C because it's like the offense and alone is like again sometimes just enough to get through no matter what. So
Well, you
like
also
I feel like
gotta. Sorry, go ahead.
no go off.
I was just gonna say, I mean, if you look at the swaps that he did make, I mean, a lot of the, and also in Mid Valley's defense, he did not make the draft. Someone else drafted his initial team for him. So as soon as he was able to draft in week 3, I mean, that's when he brought in the Orikoria Sensu for Defog. He had Gligar, but he traded it for Pilot's Wine later. Arbok, which, I mean, it's a good low tier intimidator because it's got glare, it's got coil. It could be a really decent, like, kind of.
Also a grounded poison type for toxic spikes.
And
Yeah.
Terra's though.
Terra's, it's got glare, it's good support, it can be bulky, it's got coil, like it can do some shit. And then
It makes me want to vomit, but I agree with what Alex said.
well, which part?
Just everything. I think it's either low B, high C.
We'll put it in B for now, and we'll make adjustments as need be. But yeah, it's definitely better than the team that was initially drafted for sure.
Yeah, he showed up one of the major weak spots. So, and he has enough offense. It's just like if a team can come up against him with some solid intimidators or some good bulk, it's going to be like, okay, how do you break it now because your team just folds the other way?
Well, when I played against him, I brought Bastion. That caused him a lot of problems. So that point's still valid, but. But yeah, I can agree with that. Definitely a B tier team, but obviously as we go through more teams, just to declutter certain tiers, he might go higher or lower depending. But all right, moving on to Paris, who made absolutely 0 changes. So I don't know if we really need to talk about it because he didn't make any changes, so he probably should be in the same spot that he was B tier.
C tier, yeah. All right.
All right.
Hot garbage, literal garbage.
Nah. Freezing cold garbage.
You know what? That's fair, you guys. Let's throw me right directly into not even D tier. Let's just throw me into
For freezing. For the 0 Fahrenheit.
no.
We're in here.
I'll tell you what. Let's throw me in the snow tier. So let's just throw me right up in S for snow and call it a fucking day.
S for snow.
But
I mean, wait, didn't we have you like high A or something?
no, we had me as a gatekeeper for B tier. And the main reason for
Damn,
that,
we hosh. We come in with what'd you do? Okay, well you added Iron Bundle, got rid of backs. I mean, good. Added Skeledirge, good. The Bastiodon for Crocolore is probably like a even sort of thing in my book.
yeah.
Dipplin is better than Spidops. So yeah, I mean you've definitely improved.
Well, I mean the main thing that we talked about as far as my weaknesses is that initially I had a very strong fighting and steel weakness, which is why I added Skeledirge was to cover that.
Yeah. Right.
And I mean the Rock's weakness is obviously still there. I mean, I have Donphan's a spinner.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's not really too much I could have done about it.
The team has to bring like multiple rockers against you. Let Donphan get rid of the first one, knock it out, and then get him up again, baby.
I mean, sometimes the rocks don't matter if you don't switch because, like we mentioned earlier, Titan with 51 KOs, rocks don't matter if you don't switch. And if you're just sweeping teams with belly drum boosted ice shards, I mean, what are the rocks doing?
That's why Ditto needs to come in with that choice scarf, copy the belly drum, and then sweep you right back.
That would suck. If only I was, that bad to willingly play into that. But yeah. So
I have faith in you. Don't sell yourself short.
Thank you. I needed that vote of confidence today. So I'm not gonna rate my own team. So where do you guys feel that this team deserves to be?
I still think you should have gone rid of Ninetales and just looked for like some more utility. Because I'm like, man, I feel like Glow King's like the best snow setter. Like I know it's like you miss out on Aurora Veil, but it's like if all I want to do is get in my two big hitters, you know, like Bundle and Satian, I'd rather just like get a free switch out with Glow King and then use the points from Ninetales for some other stuff. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, it's A tier. It's an A tier team.
All right, above or below the Bidoofs?
Above.
Why were you so nice to him and so mean to me?
I don't have to answer that.
Okay.
It's on
Do you,
principle.
do you at least agree with the consensus, Alex? You actually didn't say.
Yeah, I do, but like, it's fine. I just feel like it was just incredibly biased. Like literally like Fox News. Like, fine. Let's keep going.
Okay, MSNBC, you want me to go through this? You want me to do this? Okay. Iron Bundle, S tier, amazing Pokemon, Ubers, can't believe it. I don't even know why it's allowed in this league. It should be like 22 points minimum. Like, what a steal, what a great Pokemon. Alolan Ninetales, I said my piece. I think you use the points better, but it does have its utility. Freeze Dry, Aurora Veil, got that Moonblast, one of the best attacks in the games. It's still up there. It's still a good Pokemon. Glow King, one of the best pivoters in the whole damn game. Great defenses. You can run it offensively, like an Assault Vest said. Nasty Plot. It gets Flamethrower for coverage. Just amazing, great Pokemon. Donphan, not my favorite, not my cup of tea, but I understand what it does. It does two things. It gets rocks up and it spins. Titan, what a beater. What a fucking boxer. Fucking Mike Tyson taking out that Jake Paul tomorrow night. That is Titan right there. Skeledirge, great Pokemon again. Again, it's up there in the Ubas. It's up there with the Iron Bundle. 13 points. Nah, that should be a 15, 16 pointer. That man lives and he dies and he comes back to tell about it. Skeledirge, MVP. Bastiodon, fuck you. You ugly. Grimmsnarl, great Pokemon. It can work both ways. It can be a prankster, annoying Pokemon, but it can also just put the beat down. It's got that sucker punch. It's got that play rough. It's got the false, not the false surrender, but the other thing that lowers the special attack. It can be annoying. It can be bolty. It gets the screens up. That's why, again, I didn't think you really needed the Ninetales because you got the Grimmsnarl there. It can also terrestrialize. You go with a Terra Fighting bulk up prankster set. Get your bulk up against a physical attacker, then just start drain punching. Get it all back. Diplin, it's a fucking candy apple. I love candy apples. Yeah, go Diplin and Wigglytuff. Fuck you. You're the worst Pokemon here. You're worth the 1 point, but you're not. You should be 0. I wouldn't even have 10 Pokemon on this team. I'd just carry that 1 point home with me and fuck my wife with it.
Well, go off.
I mean, not a soul asked for the record. Like, didn't even get a chance for me to tell you to shut up because just started. Did you even take a breath?
No, I'm pretty sure that was all off the whip there.
Oh yeah, that's fine. None of that. Yeah, whatever. A tier team. Let's go.
All right. Moving on then. All right. So we got Scotland. He made a few changes. And those changes ended him with Iron Valiant, Raging Bolt, which has been a fucking nuisance, Metagross, Alomomola, Araquanid, Quavel, Arcanine, Electro Hisuian, Flygar, and Drifblim. I don't remember where we had.
I see the Salsa Bird and I love it. Salsa Bird. Second best bird behind yours truly.
I believe we had Scotland at top of A, if I'm not mistaken. If someone wants to verify that, maybe if Alex could verify.
Yeah, if Alex wants to, because I don't want to click out of the thing since I'm sharing.
I think we had him.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Valiant again, another Pokemon that I'm like, man, maybe that should be a 20 pointer.
Yeah,
like you look at some of these just beaters. Like Iron Valiant got fucking sleep banned from singles competitive, like almost by itself.
He was the top of A tier.
Okay.
Yeah, Raging Bolt it showed it. Great Pokemon. It's got the bulk that can sit back and do those big hits, or you just get clapped. You get clapped.
Mm-hmm. And
Metagross, Again, just huge damage, bullet punch. Lola Mola, great bulk. I love a Lola Mola. Arachnid, solid terrestrialization user. You Terra Water with this boy? Water Bubble, Terra Water?
Mm.
Walk
Yeah,
with
no.
all. I already said I love the Salsa Bird. It can just do so many things. Aqua Step, close combat, rapid spin. Can do everything. Arcanine, I don't see him doing a lot with Arcanine, but that man's a threat. That's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming Electrode, again, really good. The fact that it can terrestrialize so it can get that Terra Ice, and then it's got the electric and grass coverage too. Gligar, he's actually using, unlike, the guy who got Paloswine.
Mm-hmm.
And Drifblim, again, just like I kind of said about Oricorio Sensu, but just all those resistance. And Drifblim has a lot of tricks it can play. It works its ghost side a lot. It's got a lot of tricky things. Got that strength sap. Can
Driftblim is a good boy.
no, Arcanine's a good boy.
Off
Don't
of who?
fucking take my line.
Both
Think
of
of your own fucking lines.
Oh my
Think of your
god.
own
Why
fucking
are you
lines.
so mad? Why are you so mad?
Oh
No,
my
I mean
God.
this team was good at the beginning of the season. It's still good. It's still got to be up there.
All right, so are we still thinking an A tier team then?
Yep.
Because I'm looking at it right now. He hasn't brought a Arachnid all that much, but like you said, Terra Water Bubble can absolutely ruin somebody's day. Got Sticky Web on that boy as well. I mean, his speed tier outside of Electrode is very meh, but with Sticky Web support, it really will help with that.
I think this is close to S tier.
Think so?
Yeah, I think it's above Phoenix.
Okay. Um, well, yeah, screw it. We'll put him in S tier, and then if we feel later we move him down. Otherwise, I'm content with saying this is S because I mean, I'll be honest with you,
Because I look at this Iron Valiant. You got the fighting that Phoenix doesn't like. You got Raging Bolt. Like, what are you gonna do? Iron Bundle comes in against it. Like, you can't attack. You're gonna get clapped. You got to swap out against Bolt.
I mean,
Metagross just bullet punches like almost everything. Choice Band bullet punch. Alola Mola can tank like all these ice hits, other than like Ninetales Freeze Dry.
the
And
only
then
thing
you got Aquaval, kind of same thing, tanks the ice hits and then hits you back with close combat or something.
the only thing I will say
Arcanine
is
fire type can intimidate down and extreme speed to revenge kill like a Satian if it takes something out.
the only thing I'll say in my own defense is I did beat Scotland. I finished undefeated, so Scotland was one of my W's this season, in spite of how scary this fucking team looks. But I do agree with you. On paper, this team is exceptionally scary, and he was definitely one of the ones I prepped the hardest for. I think the only team I prepped harder for was probably the team that we're going to talk about next. But yeah, no, this is an incredibly scary team, especially into me. So I agree with the placement and I agree with the theory, but I just wanted to say that I did beat him. So all right, so this was S tier, and she made no changes whatsoever. So I guess what we need to decide is if she is above or below Scotland in the S tier, because we got so many hazards, so many forms of hazard removal. We got Sticky Web, we got Stealth Rocks, we got Defog, we got multitude of Rapid Spinners. We got Umbreon, which has been an absolute fucking an absolute brick shit house with the amount of KOs that it's been getting. I mean, I don't really see a whole lot of flaws in this team, and Regieleki, if it goes unchecked, like if you don't have a ground type, you're gonna get your absolute shit kicked in. Um, so like,
I want to wait and see what Alex says first.
okay, well, yeah, Alex, go ahead, go off.
Didn't she beat Scotland?
I believe so. I believe
She
so.
did have a good record. She was third in the league, but couldn't win her division. So
I mean, I think in a vacuum, next to Scotland's team, this team is just better.
I would tend to agree. The one thing that I think the one thing that we talked about before was that she didn't have a whole lot of speed outside of Regieleki, but I mean between Sticky Web with Masquerain, or hell, if she wanted to go Tailwind on Whimsicott, which for some reason I've seen a lot of Tailwind this season with Tornadus and other Tailwind users like Rabambi. So I mean I've seen a lot of it, so it's technically a possibility, I guess. Um, so she does have ways to mitigate that mediocre speed tier that she has outside that Regieleki. So
I think it's above Scotland's team. Um, her team is a nightmare, and I honestly don't know how I beat it.
no, she was definitely one of my harder matchups this season too. Like I think her, I think her, Mid Valley, and who's the other one? There's three people that got one game on me this season, and I know that her.
It's me. It's me, you motherfucker.
it's me. Hi, I'm the problem.
I know I was doing that to ruffle your feathers, and it worked. Um, but yeah, no, this team absolutely terrifying. I still think it's an S tier team. It's just a matter of, do you agree with Alex? Do you think it's above Scotland in S tier?
I do. Like solely based on the fact that like in the vacuum, like this team checks into that team better. I feel. I feel like Metagross doesn't really
I'm
bring
sorry,
anything to the table
Kevin.
against this
Weren't you
team.
talking to me again?
Yeah, I was in fact. Yeah, I was asking if you agreed with Alex.
Haven't you just like talked enough though? Like I just don't
That's why I
understand
let you talk, but now he asked my opinion. Yeah, keep
the
her at the
mistakes.
top. Keep her at the top. The queen don't lose her crown.
We don't lose her crown. All right, next we got Simi. And he made some adjustments as well. He added Pikachu, Smeargle, Kyurem, Ogerpon, Wellspring, and Darkrai. Um, I think
Damn,
we
how do you do so bad? This is just like a offensive. I mean, he has the Pikachu, Berserker, and Smeargle, so I guess I can see why he did so bad. But yeah, like these are just offensive juggernauts.
well, and I watched his game with Buffalo, and I will say there was some RNG involved, but I will say that Ditto absolutely was a fucking problem for
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah. Scarf Ditto just cleans this team. Like, what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. And that was his last week. Like if he had won that match, he would be in top 8 with us, but he didn't. So that was probably like one of the, I don't know. That was probably
Yeah,
not a good matchup to be like to have playoff contention on the line. So
yeah. I mean, it's just like a super hyper offense team. I don't see like too much else really going on with it, so I'm gonna put it in C tier because it's like meh. My a fucking like 8-year-old puts this team together on their cartridge.
I think we had him in. I think we had him beat here last time. Do we really
Yeah,
think?
because he had like Slowbro and Mudsdale and Samurott. He had like
Yeah.
some variety going on. Like, oh, you can see a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now it's just he took the fucking pendulum, cranked it over to this way, and when we're like, well, now you're too much on one side, and in the game of Pokemon, that's not always the best thing.
What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, kind of the same. I mean, like when I was playtesting with people for this, like you and with
He's got no one to
Seattle,
remove
like
hazards still, right?
yeah, there's no hazard removal. Like he also kind of like
Well,
pigeonholed himself into like only bringing like he brought Flygon to almost every game, and like it was a Terra
Yeah, he
Electric
had
every
to.
time.
Yeah.
he doesn't
Like,
have hazard removal, but he does have Cinderace that can court change it.
oh yeah, court change. So like that zone is like pretty good, but like he needs more options than that. And like Diancie is like bulky on paper, but like the typing is like quad weak to steel. Like, you know, it's like weak to ground. It's got a million weaknesses.
Yeah,
So like
ground,
the defensive
water.
thing, and it can't Terra. So you know, it's just like I don't know. Like I think Simi's like a really good coach, and you know, like the Annihilate is like another bulk option, but like the lack of like pure defensive like kind of like steers me away from the team. So like I feel like it's like a C tier team. I still love you, Simi.
Are we thinking above Paris or below Paris?
I think it's better than Paris' team, still even the hyper offense state.
Okay. I can
Yeah,
roll
because
with
the
that.
value of all those Pokemon like Cinderace, Kyurem, Annihilate,
Oh
Bogerpon,
yeah, I mean like
Darkrai,
it's clearly just like
Flygon, like they're all
capable.
still high.
If
It's just, you know,
if somebody
like you
like
said,
offsets him
a
once, he's
one
just
good
done. But
Scarf Pokemon and you got nothing. You can't check it.
Fair enough. All right, well, C tier it is. Next up, we got Tokyo, who only made 2 changes. He
Hey,
added,
one seemed to be a good one.
yep, and the other one, man,
Bingo.
can I say except you're welcome? You're welcome.
so yeah, she traded Alex for Goldango in week right before week 4, and well, the numbers speak for themselves. That Goldango has put in work just like it has done in previous seasons. Um,
My only issue looking at this team, because I'm thinking like high B, like
we had her in A
don't
before.
yeah, but that was with Landorus.
Okay.
So now again, it was like Landorus was your physical attacker, stealth rocker, you know, all this stuff. Now your stealth rocker has to be Clodsire, which is like, okay, good, you know, but it's not the same utility. And now you took your best physical attacker. Now, like, you shouldn't bring Samurott. Like, Samurott, not really on this team, really. I don't know what she's tearing it into, but like your only real quote unquote physical attacker is Mimikyu, and Mimikyu's only got like 90 something attack. Like it's not Landorus, all right, 140 here. So it's like you took that whole part away. Now you got Chiyu Goldango, like Miss Magius and Oricorio with Quiver Dance. Yeah, you got special attackers on tap. Go for it, girl. But you know, it's that Landorus was carrying the physical attacking side as well as a little bit of utility, U-turn, stealth rocking. Uh, you know, you could even do a Swords Dance boom set to really shite some people.
Mm-hmm. So are we thinking? So you think B tier? Like, are we? Do you think
Yeah,
like?
like high B. I'm thinking high B.
So do we think above Duford?
Yeah.
What about you, Alex? What's your position on?
I would
Well,
echo
I'm
that.
thinking that like exact like this and that and since you were talking to me, right, Kevin?
Point made. Alex, go ahead.
I would just echo what he said.
The only other thing I would say is that even though, like, yeah, she did get rid of her main, like, physical offense, I mean, the Mimikyu did pretty well for her as an offensive threat just because with Disguise, obviously, that's just a free Swords Dance. And don't even get me started if she switches it in, like, say, off of, like, a U-turn from Robombi and they have to force to switch for some reason. It's 2 free Swords Dances before they can even do anything. So I mean that kind of sort of mitigates that a little bit for me, but I still agree in concept that maybe Landorus filled a bit more of a role, even though Goldango did phenomenally for her. But I could probably rock with B, if not lowest of A, but we'll put it in B, and then all right. So now we got Vero. Vero was our D team last time we did this, and well, he did take the advice that we gave him initially, but then almost immediately went back on it. He's made a lot of changes. very indecisive. He had a sand core for a little while, but got rid of that as well. And kind of in a position where I'm noticing a lot of the same problems that we had before. He's exceptionally very weak, if not more so than he was at the beginning of the season. Um, Not really a whole lot of ways to remove hazards. Granted, he does have ways to set up hazards now with the Camerot and whatnot, but I don't know if I feel like the one redeeming quality of this team is obviously, I guess, two. One, Zamazenta, loves Zamazenta. That has done work for him. The only Pokemon that's not going into the playoffs that made it into the top 10. And then PZ is a great Terra abuser with adaptability and
Yeah, that's crazy.
the amount of coverage he has. You're not going to know till it's too late what Terra option he's going with, and it might just be the end of you. But unfortunately, I still think this is a D tier team just because, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 70% of his team is weak to Fairy.
Yeah.
And
No. Yeah, I agree.
This is Zamazenta and 5 dudes. Sorry, I love Vero. It's fine. Like, they're great, but this is a D tier team.
Yeah, that didn't shore up its bulk or utility or anything. It's just
I don't
another
understand.
hyper offense, but it's got a
I don't know why he took the Brute on it. Like, I just don't know what it does for him. Like, I almost took it, but like, I don't know what he's doing with it.
For which one?
For Brute Bonnet.
Oh yeah, I love Brute Bonnet. Yep. Throw it down there.
All right, well, looking at the tier list, are we content with this? Is there any last minute changes that we want to make in hindsight?
And can you read it? Can you read it out to me, Kevin?
Yeah, we got Seattle and Scotland.
Start from the bottom. Start from the bottom.
All right.
Start at the bottom. Now we're here.
All right. Start at the bottom. D tier, Vero Beach. Then we got in C tier, Paris and Simi. Then in B tier, we got Mid Valley, Driftvale, Lavender Town, Dewford, and Tokyo. In A tier, we got the Bidoofs and myself. Then S tier, we got Scotland and Seattle.
I'm okay with it.
Everyone content with it?
I would once again like to say that I believe I should be higher, but I'm not going to argue this again.
All right. Let's go back. Let me do it again.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. I don't even have to. I got it all here, right here. Walking fake. It's done. It's done. You can't get any. You can't move from where you are. You could only go down. I don't gotta say no more.
Like, not to sound like an arrogant asshole, but like I feel like my team is like better than Tokyo's team. Like, no offense. Like, I think I could also fucking stomp that Rain team. No offense to Dewford, I don't know them at all. However, like, if I'm not at least behind the Bidoofs in A, I'm the top of B tier. I have all of the coverage, or as much coverage as I can minus ground, and I filled the gap for like being much too lopsided
Alex,
on the special
my
side.
epic rant will not go down like that. It will stick you where you belong.
Right, it's heard, but I'm still correct. I'm at least the top of B. Thank you so much.
I will split the difference here, and I will go on my own.
You already split the difference. You split the difference with the first time.
Yeah, but now we're revisiting this, and now Alex is actually defending himself, whereas before he shut his mouth when you were going on your rant. So,
well, he just cried like a little baby. That's not a
At
defense.
no point did I cry.
That would never hold up in court.
And sound like a moron. It's fine. I'm not trying to scream about it again, like some of us. However, like I have like this super cool thing called facts on my side. So like you can go on like another soapbox.
I just went through all the facts.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So before we decide if we're gonna move him or not, with him stating his case. Here's what I will ask, because he does have like all the cores that we typically look for in a higher tier team. So if not Walking Wake, what better water type that was available would you have done that could have made this team better in your eyes?
That's available?
That's available. Because I gotta say that Walking Wake, while maybe it's not the best, I gotta say it's the best water type to put on a Sun team because it's not immediately hindered. So I mean, if we can find a better water type that he could have used over Walking Wake, I can maybe see keeping him where he is. But if not, then maybe he deserves to be a little higher. I don't know.
Why do you need a water type?
I mean, fire, water, grass core for one thing, and two, having water coverage isn't the worst thing in the world. It's really good offensively and defensively, and water dragon isn't exactly terrible typing either. It's only weak to fairy and freeze dry.
Listen, Alex already pointed out Walking Wake's biggest weakness. It doesn't kill things.
I mean, it does, but I've had some fail
hits,
moments.
It doesn't like knock things out when you think it's good.
I'm looking at 13 games and 22 knockouts with only 8 deaths.
All right, you know something? Rewind the tape. Alex, what did you say about it in critical hits? Critical hits.
I mean, in its defense, Kevin, in our game, were you max special defense Glow King?
Yes.
Okay, and I hit it from, I think, like 67% on a neutral. That's still excellent with no boost. Okay, like, I had specs, but without, like, an inherent boost move. I think what had happened was, in our game back in your last season, when I fucking mollywopped you in that game.
What?
Excuse me,
I can't hear you over the sound of my trophy squeaking as I clean it.
Right, mine also, but it's fine.
I wasn't in that season, buddy. You can hold that all you want, but it's not real. That's a fake trophy.
Wow, it looks real.
Season 10, that never happened. The Invitational was season 10. We all know it.
And yet, you say that, but there's not a 7th trophy by your name. There's only a medallion.
Because I'm humble.
Oh, man. That was great. That was awesome.
God, I can't believe I didn't get struck by lightning there.
When someone gets 2 trophies, I'll add the 7th.
Oh, is that how that works?
If I win 2 trophies, you come back to the league. Is that it? Okay.
You want to look up at the mountaintop? It's blinding, buddy. It's blinding.
At this point, I would forfeit to Scotland at that point. Like,
listen. Here's all I'm gonna say, right? Because I remember when you first told me that you were gonna kind of pass the reins off to me. One of the things that you told me was that being commissioner means I'm not allowed to lose anymore, and I'd like to say
that's right. You're not.
And I'd like to say I filled that role phenomenally. And my whole
you're living up to the commissioner blessing.
So my whole
you run the league, you run the show.
So my whole game plan is to get 6 trophies to force you out of retirement to be like, oh, I can't let this motherfucker pass me with 7 trophies. I got to do something now. So like that's the whole game plan.
All right, I'll be here. I'll be waiting. I'll be old and wrinkled, but I'll be waiting.
You're gonna be old, wrinkled. You're gonna be rusty while I have 6 back-to-back trophies, and then you're gonna be like, "Well, you just be the rusty old."
I won't be old and wrinkled that quick unless you take as long to do the league as you did this season.
Hey, listen.
Can we just move me up in D tier, please? I don't care about Ryan old and wrinkled, and I don't care about the trophies you think you'll win. I care about where we put me in this fucking tier list.
Oh, you hear that? Nah, you can't move him up now, Kevin. He said he don't care about the trophies you're gonna win. Can't move him up now.
Ooh. Eesh. I don't know, man. But
yeah, move him up 1. Move him up over the Rain team just because they didn't make the playoffs. I'll consent that. Move him up 1.
Okay, I can agree with that at least.
I still don't think he would win. Like if I had that Reign team, it's done.
The only thing I would say, if we're gonna go by that logic, then like we should put Duford below the other two coaches that also
No. I'm just saying we're doing that so that we can move on because I want to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay,
You know
but
what?
again, like I think I'm again a better constructed team than Tokyo has. No offense to Tokyo, that's my girl, but like again, I should be the top of B at least.
All right, let me look at it again. You crybaby.
Is this what crying is? Am I a snowflake now?
Man, I mean, you brought it up, not me. Seems like you think about it.
Well, I mean, obviously, did you see how many trades I make? Of course, I think about it.
I just hate your team.
Now here's the issue, right? Is now that every time I do a tier list video, like unless I bring all of the available coaches to defend themselves and defend their placement, there's gonna be a little bit of salt. Like I can guarantee
That's not true because not all the
Leave
coaches
where it's at. We already moved him up 2 spots from where we initially said. I can't. I look at that walking fake and I can't do anymore.
Right, that's what I'm talking about right there.
I
not all
look
the
at
coaches have to
Lucas
defend
Clefable
against like
Doncic
an incredibly
with their belly
biased
hanging
rant
out.
from the third that's doing the review. Okay,
I
we seeing this?
I look at fake Edward Scissorhands who's gonna miss his move.
Oh my god, I can't
look
even
at the
defend it.
5th Teenage Ninja Turtle who they leave in the basement.
Oh,
I can't.
God.
Like the keyboard has like
I look
only
at fucking
missed for me.
Uzumaki over here, fucking Snail Boy.
Oh, wow.
He's excellent. And the Clefable is also great. Are you kidding me? I brought it to one game. It went 5-0. Like,
oh my god.
I look at fucking Salt and Pepper, no salt over here. No salt because it can't do anything, so no one gets salty about it.
Hang on, wait. I would argue.
I look at fucking Anal Beads. Anal Beads the man on his cloud, his flying Nimbus with his anal beads.
I would argue.
I look at the 2 Monopoly men.
Just he's all salt and no pepper for the record.
I look at the worst evolution.
All salt. Leafeon is excellent.
Evolution.
It was so good for me in that game that I brought it. It was
so
good.
And then I look at Jasmine's fling over here. Like that's the team.
Ampharos has been historically good for me every time I've taken it. It's like it's bulky. Don't disrespect the Ampharos, okay? Like that's gonna do things. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on my matchups. I haven't even looked at Scotland's team other than like right now.
They gotta give Ampharos Thunderclap next generation.
I wish.
Bring it back.
They really do. I concur with that.
But no, son, drop this team back down. I'm done.
For the record, if any coaches watching this video that were not a part of this want to defend your team placement as adamantly as Alex has,
call up Alex. Pitch to Alex. He's the one you gotta talk to.
Yeah, okay, but again, not all of them got the incredibly biased rant from Boston. So like, I just need that. I mean, people who will listen to this will obviously hear that.
At least 4 biased rants, thank you, which is a third of the league. All right.
Why? But they were all about me. You just went on the same rant 4 times.
Like, do you get? Anyway, let's move on from that. Do we have any final thoughts on the season, the placements, the tier list before we call it a day?
I'm sorry if I offended anyone.
I'm not.
Obviously.
We know you're not, Ryan. We know that. You're literally like the fucking Simon Cowell of the fucking global Pokemon Society.
Christ, it's like
all I gotta say, I don't know how it'll work out with the bracket, but I want to see you two in the semifinals. I want to see one of you heartbreak the other. That's all. I don't know if it'll work out.
It's very likely that we will see each other in the semifinals. The only way we don't see each other in the semifinals is either one, if I lose to Buffalo, or if Tokyo beats Cole. Those are the
Yep.
only ways that we don't see each other in the semifinals.
Or I lose.
I hope Cole gets his trophy. He's been in the league a long time. I hope he finds a way, but that's just because he's been here since like season 3 or whatever.
I still got to talk to Trevor, but are you guys still down to narrate whoever makes it to the finals?
Yeah, you just gotta let me know the day and stuff, and I'll try and figure it out.
And I am going to say this openly. The finals have got to be on the fucking console. I don't want a fucking showdown finals. Fucking work
Yeah,
it out.
none of that baby girl schoolyard shit.
For the
We
finals,
fight like
I want
men.
console.
We fight with our switches, like in the prison yards.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you taking time out to do this with me. And
I appreciate me too. Thank me for having me on here.
Oh my god, it's fucking nauseating.
thank you to Alex for actually showing up this time.
Yep.
Made us wait
Whatever.
long enough.
Yeah.
It only
Wow.
It only took
It wasn't
10
Cry
worth
about
minutes.
It was not worth it. The wait, not worth it.
Yeah, absolutely not. I don't know why I came.
All right. Well, I will end the video here. And feel free to check into the playoffs, which will start next week, and catch you guys in the next one.